Lanyard won't work for Cyril and Donga. Everything else seems to be working swimmingly. Space and time for Nzaba. Space for Inzau. Try to dig out a little nutmeg. The SCM standing firm, breaks kindly for Fatawu. Lovely ball for Yeboah. The ball across. Well, they might have been second best for most of the match, but the perfect start to the second half. Ernest Nuama with the opening goal for Ghana. Well, now they're dancing after a challenging opening 45. Even in Danko's substitutes and fans celebrate. Suddenly a 3-on-2. Yeboah got to the ball with time to pick his head up and then perfectly pick out 19-year-old Ernest Nuama, plying his trade in Denmark with Nordsjælland. He was a late call-up, and yet he timed his run to perfection for the simplest goal of his career. Brazzaville, then the breaks. They certainly do have a chance for a second comes about, all the better, but otherwise be happy with job done. Congo Brazzaville are going to have to dig right deep. To try and find something. But Ghana in again. And that is game, set and match. What an impact he's made off the bench. Emmanuel Yeboah celebrating with a small band of Black Star fans. A goal to go with this assist. Moves forward. 3 goals in 31 appearances for the Romanian side. He's had experience at Champions League and Europa ball, but it's his first taste of this under-23 Africa Cup of Nations that's seen him bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Perfect little header to set him on his way. He didn't do too much with the finish, placed it on target, and Basila could do nothing but bounce it high into his unguarded net. Ghana celebrate. They know there'll be better needed for Ghana. Certainly know they've been in a game. Niger up later tonight, facing Egypt in their competition debut. Oh well, I'm not sure that needed to be given, but it's a penalty. And he's let Mensah run free. There's a coming together, but the Ghanaian player's then back to his feet. He certainly seems to be trying to get out of the way. FC Honka, fullback, sees his penalty saved, and then he takes it off the toe of Yeboah. The Tango would want to see a lack of team spirit seem to engulf Mensah. Might get a reprieve. The goalkeeper off his line, and it will be retaken. Well, Basila needs at least 1 foot on the line. What a let-off for... if he'd left it, it surely would have been a second for Yeboah. It Can he, at the second attempt? No. Eventually it ends up in the net. But it's handball against Ernest Nuama. But once again, we can have another retake. It's another retake. He didn't learn his lesson. Mensah, another poor penalty. He's made a very good save. An even better one from Nuama. And yet, the ball ended up in the net. Handball given. And now well, Arco Mensah has finally been convinced it's not his moment. As it very much is, the man of the moment, who makes it 3-0. Emmanuel Eventually saw Yeboah step up, and this time Basila just about staying on his line, but only looking back to see. Oh, it's a brilliant header, and history made. The first ever goal scorer for Congo Brazzaville at an under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. But a bright spark in an otherwise bitterly disappointing second half performance from Congo Brazzaville. Wonderful delivery. The header down. A 21-year-old Reich Triumph Kokogolo, the cottage sport midfielder, himself on the score sheet for his national side for the very first time. Had experience in the Champions League with cottage sport, as it's suddenly a second! Oh wow! From 3-0 to 3-2 in the blink of an eye, and there is still time. The substitutes have reigned supreme. Emmanuel Yeboah with 2 goals and assists, but now adding to the header of Kokolo, Yang Joffrey, Kuori Nagatsi. The 20-year-old just showed that little bit of composure through the legs of the defenders, and Dan Ladd left.